What's up, y'all? It's Deep Talk with T, episode 48. What's happening, my people? I've missed everybody out there in Cyberland. I've missed doing these talks. Why haven't you done them then, T? You know, life happens, and when you're creative, a lot of times you have a lot of ideas going on. I've been giving my attention to different ideas that, and projects, not just ideas, but projects that I have in the works. So thank you for everybody who still, is checking in with these. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Today's topic of conversation is affirmations and action. Everybody's heard the two phrases, or the two sayings, speak it into existence, and where there's a will, there's a way. A lot of times it seems to be that one type of person will say, where there's a will, there's a way. There's a very determined aspect to it. There's a very I'm going to control the outcome and I'm going to make it happen. And then there's the other ones who say, speak it into existence. And a lot of times, no shouts to people who say this, but this tends to be a lazier group of people. They tend to be less hands-on with the outcome and the results and directing how it's going to happen or what's going to happen. I like to marry the two. I'd like to talk about marrying the two in this, because affirmations are nothing more than how we talk to ourselves. If you affirm that you feel a certain way, or that you are a certain way, or a certain quality is predominantly characterizes who you are, then that affirms that reality. That's an affirmation. That's the noun that's the noun. Affirmations, the noun, and affirm is the verb of it. So when you talk to yourself, you're affirming a certain reality all the time, regardless. The point is to make it conscious. The point is to choose what reality you're shaping. And we all want different things at different times. So we have to be clear about what it is that we want in any given moment, whether or not it's in this moment or in long term, and how what we're doing in this moment affects what we want in the long term and how it's making that become manifest, right? So that's the part of speaking it into existence. And the doing part is the will. Where there's a will, there's a way. The universe, God, the intelligence that makes all this stuff come to be, that's gonna surprise you regardless of whether or not you want it to. So if you are intentional about what you want, though, and you leave space to be surprised in that manner, you're much more likely to get the results that you want. Maybe not in the way that you thought that you were gonna get them or that you wanted them, but that is the unpredictability of the universe that's inevitable. So being clear about what you want, actually speaking that to yourself to affirm it, and then actually acting on it, not just picking one or the other, but actually acting on it. All those things are like the perfect ingredients to doing what you can do to control your situation, because there's a lot of things that are outside of your control, and you can't worry about those things or let them hamper your pursuit of what it is that you want. You just have to be aware that there are going to be variables that you cannot control, and that you have to be able to roll with those punches. That's just part of improv and being able to just play off whatever happens. Because again, there are things that are out of your control. So doing what's in your control, making sure that you are aware of what's in your control, number one. That's what you eat. It's how you exercise. It's how you sleep. It's how you manage your time. It's how you choose to develop yourself. It's who you choose to hang around. It's how you choose to make money. It's how you choose to spend money. It's what everything that you consume is a part of what you can control. The things that are outside of that, the only thing that's in your control is how you manage, how you react to those things, and how you respond to those things, but not just react. A lot of times, again, there's no space between the awareness that we are as humans and the feelings, the thoughts, and the physical sensations that we experience as humans. And when you don't have a gap, then you are dictated by those things. You feel a certain way, you respond a certain way based on that feeling. You think a certain thing, you respond a certain way based on that thought. Physically, you feel a certain way, you respond based on that physical sensation. When you learn to create some space in between you and the physical, the mental, and the emotional, not sever ties with it, but create space between it, you have greater influence over yourself. Because then you can manage how you feel emotionally. You can be aware of how you truly feel. You can work with that consciously. You can think, why do I feel this way? And that's how you manage your emotions. You literally work with them. Physically, you do things to manage them and uplift them, like working out. You transmute emotions and thoughts through working out. That's why people get more clarity when they exercise. That's why if you feel negative, either angry, which isn't always a negative thing, any emotion that you feel that feels like it's weighing you down, feels like it's a lower vibration or frequency than you want to operate on, you can transmute that with exercise. You can hit the floor and do some workouts. You can go for a run. Whatever it is that you do actively, and if you don't do something actively, figure that out, because I said that in another video. You got to do something active. Your body demands it, period. Bottom line, point blank. If you're a human and you have a body, your body demands movement. So do something that moves. Do something moving, literally, and then you create an elevated state of consciousness to deal with your issues, to deal with whatever it is that you're dealing with in any given moment. All we're doing in any given time is playing out this life that we have, whether or not you consider it like an art piece, a film, like a test, an experiment. No matter how you experience it or conceptualize it, it's always playing out. We're always in the playing field, and we all have a set of given circumstances. We all have objectives in any given moment, whether or not it's simply to breathe, whether or not it's to make someone fall in love with us, whether or not it's to get food, take care of our loved ones, whatever is the case. We all have objectives all the time. You're never without an objective. You started having objectives when you were in the womb, before you were even consciously aware of it. You had to get from one place to the next, and then to the next, and you're always needing things. You're always needing nutrients. You're always needing oxygen. You always need something. So you have your circumstances, you have your objectives, you have your obstacles, whatever it is in your way, whether or not it's just the space between you and whatever it is that you need. Like if you're thirsty and there's a glass of water over there, the space between you and it may be the obstacle. The internal obstacle may be your laziness if you don't want to get up and get it. You have your tactics and actions that you take, or you don't take, because inaction is an action too. That's a choice. And then you have the stakes, whatever it is that it means to you. Maybe the glass of water doesn't mean that much to you in that moment, but maybe if you were like dying in a desert, that water would be everything, and laziness would be eradicated by desperation. So again, knowing what it is that you want, being aware of your circumstances, being aware of what it is that's getting in your way, or trying to identify it as best you can, and then taking steps strategically to overcome that and to accomplish the objective. Making sure that you are emotionally aware of the stakes, making sure that you are emotionally motivated by what it is that you want, because emotional motivators are our most powerful motivators. That's how people do superhuman things and pull off shit that doesn't seem possible, because emotions are far superior in terms of motivation than any type of thought or any type of anything else. Like if you can feel it, and anyway, we're not gonna dive too deep into that. Make sure that you're emotionally motivated about what it is that you want. Be clear about what it is that you want, and make sure that you're acting on what it is that you want. Affirm it. Affirm your ability to get it. Affirm everything about your pursuit and its validity, and act in accordance, in alignment with those affirmations. That's affirmation in action. That's speaking it into existence, and that is where your will create a way. Much love, y'all.